Hello and welcome to my second tutorial on the paperwork required in order to get married with us at Just Married Weddings. Now excuse the chitter chatter in the background, my kids are just playing. Hopefully that won't interrupt us too much. So the notice of intended marriage is the first form that you have to complete. So you would have received that in the confirmation email that we first sent to you when you booked. And there's another video that we've done that will explain absolutely everything you need to know to complete this form accurately, because it can be a tricky one. So it's a 2-page form and you would have found that in your confirmation email. So take a look at that other video if you have any questions, and hopefully that will help you make your way through that. Then you just have to send it to us, and once you've done that, you really don't have to worry very much about paperwork. We look after everything for you from that point onwards as far as legal paperwork goes. So the one thing that you do need to think about though is bringing your identification on the day of your ceremony. So we've told you about this as well in our confirmation information, but this is just a sort of a visual representation of what you need to think about. So you must bring along photo identification. Now for most people, the easiest thing to bring in order to satisfy our requirements is a passport. So please bring your passport if you have a passport. And that's all you need to do. Just bring along the passport. So if you're Australian, you can bring your Aussie passport. If you're a citizen of another country, any country at all, you can bring your passport from that country. And it doesn't even need to be valid. So if you have a passport but it's expired, it might look something like this, you can bring that with you. So any passport, and that's it, you're done. Now if you don't have a passport, we need you to bring 2 things: a driver's license and your birth certificate. Now, if you don't have a driver's license, other forms of photo ID might be okay, but just get in touch with us to confirm what you're planning on bringing. But your birth certificate must be an original, so it's important to note that you have to bring your original certificate with you, or a certified copy. It can't just be a normal photocopy of your birth certificate. So if you don't have a copy of your birth certificate, you can't find it, you'll have to get in touch with births, deaths and marriages in your state in order to get that. So this is only for Australians: birth certificate and a driver's license, please. If you're coming from overseas to get married, then you should have a passport with you, so just bring that. But if you're an Aussie and you don't have a passport, it can be a driver's license and a birth certificate. We need both. Now hopefully that explains that part, and that's all for most people that you'll need to bring. Now if you have been married before, we need to see evidence of the previous marriage, the most recent marriage, having ended. Now, if you have been married more than once, don't worry about the first or second or whatever times, only the most recent marriage. You need to show us evidence of that having ended. So for most people, it will be a certificate of divorce. And certificates of divorce look different depending on where you got divorced, but in New South Wales, it will look something like this. So we have to see the original as well. It will show a date on it, the date that the marriage termination becomes effective. So that won't be the court date, that will be the date that it comes into effect, usually about a month after. So it will have an official stamp on it, and this one's not an original, this is just a copy. So we need to see your original, and it will have a stamp on it that looks original. It's usually 2 pages. But as I say, it will look different if it's not from New South Wales. And that's fine, just make sure you bring it along. Now, if your previous marriage ended because your previous partner passed away, then instead of a divorce certificate, you'll need to bring a death certificate. And once again, it has to be an original or a certified copy. And you can get a copy of that from births, deaths and marriages, a new original copy, if that makes sense. Just get in touch with them if you don't have that anymore. And that's all you need to bring. So remember, you're bringing your ID. Easiest one is passport, and if you've been married before, you're bringing either a death certificate or a certificate of divorce. On the day of your ceremony, we will look after all your other paperwork. You'll sign a few things, and one of those things is the certificate of marriage. You will be given a certificate of marriage looking like this with your information on it, and you take that home on the day. So that's your commemorative certificate. Everyone who gets married in Australia gets one of these, but it's not the official legal document. The official legal document is something like this. Now we apply for this for you, but Births, Deaths and Marriages issues it to you. So this is the official certificate and looks a little bit like a birth certificate does. And you will receive that from Births, Deaths and Marriages in the mail. But you don't have to pay the additional cost for that. We look after it for you and we do the application for you. So there's nothing extra for you to do. Just wait for this to arrive in the post. And that's the process. That is all the legal paperwork that you need to worry about. And we look after it all for you, basically. So if you have any questions, you can get in touch. Our website is justmarriedweddings.com and our email address is admin@justmarriedweddings.com, and we'll help you out.